just a quick New York story. I don't know how many of you know, about a month ago, Mayor Bloomberg announced that they were going to allow commuter vans to pick up on the work on the routes where that were discontinued because nobody is financing the MTA. One of the problems is when that happened, the local radio station, NYC, interviewed one of the van drivers, and the man said the following, and I double-checked it on the site to make sure I heard it right, because I also don't hear very well. And what he said was, he works 6 to 7 days a week, 12 to 14 hours a day. On an average day, he picks up between 75 and 100 passengers. He gets $2 a passenger. Give him 100 passengers a day, $200 for 12 to 14 hours of work. He has no health benefits, no pension, no disability. And when I read this, what I was thinking about, oh my gosh, the work I do in Nairobi it's all these minivans running around, and they compete against each other. And the only way they can make a living is they under-maintain the vehicles. They chase each other for passengers. The accident rates are soaring, and it becomes very difficult to begin to build a modern bus rapid transit system, which is what the government of Kenya is trying to do in Nairobi. And Nairobi isn't alone. I can tell you the same story from Accra. I can tell you about what's happened in Johannesburg, and all of a sudden we started moving to an integrated system. We started moving to Metro cards and smart cards, and all of a sudden they're trying to integrate, and we now have a mayor who's essentially saying, let's disintegrate the system. Let's have private, competitive transportation. And these guys don't pay taxes, and it's not the way you build a prosperous 21st century city. But this is the challenge. So while you all are going to talk about the specific occupational health and other challenges that people in the industry face, I'm arguing that you have to think about this context too. We really have to talk about what we're going to do moving ahead. And I think I've got a list of 5 steps. The first step is we need to work together, and that's why I'm glad this is an international meeting. We need to transportation as a public good. Our emphasis has to be on the value of access to the urban economy. That discussion has to change. It's not like a can of soup. It's not a product that's sold in the private market. It's a public service that makes the economy work. We have to start with that. We have to simply reframe the discussion on finance to make clear that the burden has to be shared fairly among all who benefit for the value that's created. So that's 2 things. The third thing we have to do is we have to understand the full potential and implications of all the new technologies, from the computer-based train controls through sophisticated fare collection systems to the various GPS systems. We have to know more than they do about these things. We have to have our own intelligence and our own ideas on this. We can't, otherwise you're always in the position of being reactive. And as Frank said, you end up falling back on the contract saved the TWU in this case. But the point is the string on that runs out at some point, and the real issue is the ideas and the innovations have to start coming from us and not being in a position of reacting all the time. And we also have to understand that what we're up against is international. It's an international consortium of interests that promote this continual cutting of public spending, that advocate for private ownership or private control of these systems. And we have to basically show the way they in fact are shaping these options and say, is this in the public interest? We have to be the spokesman for the public interest and for the public service. And because they're going to try and pin the other label on you as just being self-interested, as if they're not. So we've got to change that. And finally, we've really got to put this knowledge to use in creating proposals to improve and protect the public interest. The transport workers of the world really have to become the advocates for for a public interest that's at stake in public transportation. And I can't emphasize enough how important it is. The Republic of South Africa just basically moved to say that public transportation is as vital a public service as water and sanitation, and we have to start moving from that point of view and be on the offense about this. And I think at that point we'll create a context that helps an awful lot with the occupational health issues. Thank you.